beans on toast. What is
Have
that?
you tried it?
Well, obviously, it's one of my favourite now.
Hello and welcome to the Icon. I'm Taya and today we're going to be trying some Bulgarian food with a friend of mine, and this is Tedi.
Hiya. Okay, so
what would you call this?
it's called Shopska Salad.
Shopska Salad.
Yes, so we
Bulgarian
got Bulgarian cheese. Yeah, it's cow cheese. My mum taught me how to just put a bit of water so it's not as salty. You got white onion, pink tomato, cucumber, roasted red pepper, and salt, vinegar, oil, and usually the traditional one has parsley in it, but I do like dill. So that's my yeah.
It kind of reminds me as well of being on holiday,
Yeah.
as it's like, it feels like summer.
So this is a traditional starter. It's like a cold soup, basically. It's made of yogurt, salt, cucumbers. Depending on the different regions, you can get people who are putting a bit of walnuts in it. My grandmother, she used to make it a bit more liquidy, so it's exactly like a soup.
It feels like quite a palate cleanser. You're like, just gonna like reset my palate for all my food I'm about to eat. What's it called?
A ponini chushki. It's basically translated stuffed peppers, but yeah.
Go again, I want to try and say it.
Okay. Ponini.
Ponini?
Ponini.
Ponini?
Chushki.
Chushki.
Yeah.
Ponini. Chushki.
So I have to
so good.
give you a full one.
What a shame. So we've got some dill on the top.
Yes, that's
And then we have
get my
tomato.
thing. Tomato, rice, carrot,
Yeah.
pepper, olive oil, garlic.
How long is it now that you've lived in the UK?
So in September it will be 9 years. I know, right? Like a
That's
lifetime.
crazy. Why did you end up coming to Cardiff?
I decided to come to Cardiff because I wanted to see the world. I wanted to experience new cultures, new traditions, just new stuff. And on top of that, you know, just to educate myself a bit better, I guess. So it was mainly for education purpose. I came into Cardiff to study business management with French. And yeah, and I've been here ever since.
That is interesting what you're saying about like culture, experiencing different cultures.
Yeah.
Like literally, what do you make of our culture? Like,
What
are there
do I
anything-
think
are there
about-
things where you're like, that is so weird that they do that or they eat that?
At the beginning, especially like first year, it was a bit of a cultural shock, let's say. But just small things. It's not, you know, general things. Maybe drinking culture in the UK was a bit more shocking than I expected. I don't want to say, you know, back home we're allowed to drink like earlier. We're not officially, but because parents have been, you know, good enough, and they're like, okay, so you can have a sip of this and a sip of that on the dinner table.
Right.
So
What have we here?
it looks kind of bad because obviously this is something that we usually make on a barbecue. And because I don't have a barbecue here, I literally made it into the oven, and that's why it looks a bit weird. And yeah, but it's a meatball. But that's what's important. It's called Banitsa. So it's basically, again, mixture of tomatoes, aubergines, peppers, a lot of nice things. And they're like different kinds. For example, this is a bit more a coarser one.
And what meat's this?
This is pork meat.
Cool. Kind of looks like a burger.
Yes, and probably it's going to taste a bit like a burger as well, because it's, yeah.
I'm so excited about this. That is so good. That is such a good combo.
We have those when we're celebrating something, or I know when you go to a pub or like a public place to eat, it's very popular to have it.
Okay. What have we got going on?
Okay, so this is called Moussaka. It's probably gonna think, oh, this is like the Greek thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just.
Well, so Moussaka, or whatever they call it, it's actually like it originates in Turkey. It's made with aubergine. It's completely different than what we're gonna eat now. So basically this one is made with potatoes, and again it's minced meat, but for me it's corned meat because I just like it. It tastes like cottage pie a bit.
Okay. So flavoursome. Very impressed.
You know, when I try my own dishes, I always think, oh, they're not good as my mom's or whatever. But it's always nice when somebody else cooks for you, you know.
What do you miss most about home?
Except my family.
And your dog.
My dogs, my friends, the nature back home is also so beautiful, especially in the spring. What else I miss? Sometimes I do miss a bit of the directness of the people. I don't know how to explain it, but basically here when I speak to somebody, I really don't know if they actually mean what they say. Back home I know.
Okay. I'm not a very direct person, and I do often value it in other people. I literally will take like so many words to say something just to like not offend someone. Not always
It's in
a good
your
thing.
blood. So this is ayran. It usually goes with some type of pastry. It's literally water, yogurt, some salt, and I do like a bit of pepper. So it's a salty, like a savory drink.
Oh, wow, they're going to say.
And this is another traditional thing. It's called banitsa. So it's made of puff pastry sheets, cheese, Bulgarian white cheese, yogurt, a lot of yogurt and cheese, yeah.
And it's like cows everywhere in Bulgaria.
Exactly. And eggs, and the secret, it might be a bit sweet, because what I've learned from my grandmother is when you take it out from the oven, because you're like crispy, you just pour a bit of, just a tiny bit of flavored fizzy drink, and so it's like softer. It's not as it doesn't get really hot. Yeah.
That is like grandma's tips, isn't it? Oh wow, that's not what I was expecting. I've not got the whole thing. Oh well. Whoa! It looks sweet. It definitely looks like a custard tart. It's like dense, but it doesn't feel like claggy pastry. I don't really know how to describe it. And the flavour's so good. I get what you mean about the sweetness, but if you'd not have said
that there
was sweet in it, I wouldn't have known. Oh, yeah, that's quite subtle. I was when you said salty, I was like, okay, salty yogurt. That's nice.
So this is tikvenik, which is basically pumpkin, walnuts, sugar.
Oh, it's sweet.
It is sweet.
Wow,
It's
wasn't
like
expecting
a-
that. Don't know
like
what I
a
thought was
sweet
on the top.
banitsa.
Sweet banitsa.
But yeah, this is a dessert.
Oh, I literally love sweet stuff. It does taste a bit carrot cakey.
Yeah,
So
but it was really weird for me because carrot is a vegetable, isn't it?
So is a pumpkin.
Yeah.
So when you came to be like a student here, and we were obviously in the EU then.
Yes. However, I at the beginning, back in 2012 when I came in, there was a ban for Bulgarians and Romanians to work unless they don't have an official document. It was a form that was like that thick, declaring that you don't know, your parents are not terrorists. You don't know anyone who is a terrorist. You don't know this, you don't know that. It's just like, it was so difficult. to fill it in. You apply for it. You wait for, it was a good like at least 3 months to get it back, and they give you a yellow card, and then only with this document you're allowed to work. Yes, and then after 2014, that wasn't, you know, you can just work.
So then obviously the B word, Brexit, has that changed anything for you?
Going forward, obviously we had to apply to have like a permanent residency here. It's usually quite easy to apply. They made it as simple as possible. Like you just go on this app, you fill in all the details, but there are people who couldn't provide evidences for example, that they've been in this house for that amount of time. So then they had to reapply in a year and then try again to get this, you know, unconditional permanent residency. But it would be interesting to see what will be the restrictions, because they say, oh, there won't be any restrictions. I'm sure there will be. Back then I was still working, like I was working in catering. So you get a lot of people, negativity around that, a lot of Brexit voters who are not happy with Eastern Europeans being in UK. They've never said anything directly at me, but you can feel they were quite negative. But once you prove yourself that you're hardworking, that you're not here to get any benefits or anything else that our names might be, you know, related to, they treat you way better and you get more opportunities. But I wish I don't have to go through that in order to get more opportunities, you know.
So thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you to Tedi for joining us and for cooking all this incredible food. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like and hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. Bye!
Bye.